Coronation Street stalwart Nick Tilsley could be set to order Roy Cropper's death, as Tuesday night's hour-long episode saw him get closer to the secret the cafe owner is harboring about his son, Sam Blakeman. Nick, played by Ben Price, has been desperate to help Sam, Jude Reardon, in recent weeks on Coronation Street, as the young boy hasn't spoken much since the death of his mother, Natasha Blakeman, Rachel Leskovac. What the father of one doesn't realize is Roy, David Nielsen, had a part to play in the deceased's death and tried to leave the ITV soap late last year as he struggled with the guilt. However, as it became clear during Wednesday's episode something could be going on with the cafe owner with regards to the young schoolboy, Nick could discover what he's been hiding for months. Angry he was kept in the dark for so long, the businessman could venture down a dark road to get deadly revenge on Roy. In Monday night's episode, Sam seemed to take an interest in Roy playing a game of chess with his friend and neighbor, Mary Taylor, Patty Clare. Noticing the youngster's attention was on them, Mary invited him to come and play with them the next day so he could learn. Nick sat and saw how his son was doing in terms of communication and was pleased to see him interacting with the older characters. It was Mary who he took on first, and as she wanted the boy to feel a sense of accomplishment, she let him win several games. However, it was clear Roy was going to take a different approach, as he was already uncomfortable with Sam being in such close proximity. Roy decided he would play hardball and upset the schoolboy by stamping over all the moves he had made and belittling his learning. Sam ran out of the cafe, with Nick in quick pursuit, but Mary was horrified by what her friend had done to the youngster. Explaining himself, the stalwart said it was time Sam learned the hard way and he wasn't always going to win the game. Airing his frustrations about Roy to his mother, Gail Platt, Helen Worth, Nick said, "I could have strangled Roy. I wanted to tell him he was a fool because we're now back at square one. I hadn't seen Sam this motivated since Natasha died. It was his first day back in school in ages and I'm just worried he's becoming more and more of an outsider," Nick explained. Gail replied with her wisdom word of advice from the mother of a troubled son: "The power lies with the one who cares the least." "Back off, Nick. You care far too much about everything right now," she continued, looking at Sam, who was searching the rules of chess on his iPad. Once Roy has taken some time to reflect on his actions, he might begin to think a bit differently about what he did to the youngster. This could lead him to realize he needs to tell Nick the truth about the night Natasha died and the part he played in it. Sitting down with the father of one, Roy could explain how he was trying to stop Abby Franklin, Sally Carmen, from killing Corey Brent, Maximus Evans. Unfortunately, he told her to get rid of the gun, and this is how Harvey Gaskell, Miller, ended up getting his hands on the weapon. Nick could be devastated to learn what happened and how Roy could be so cruel to his son to avoid facing up to the part he played in his mother's death. Although the cafe owner would apologize for his actions, Nick could be furious and therefore decline to make Roy feel any better by forgiving him. Instead, he could plan to get his revenge by getting someone to kill the iconic character instead so he doesn't have to get his hands dirty. It wouldn't be hard for Nick to get his hands on the number of a criminal contact who would carry out the deed for him. Despite knowing Roy for years, unfortunately, the red mist will have fallen in front of Nick's eyes and he wouldn't be able to see clearly. Hell-bent on making the pensioner pay, the father of one could regret his decision when he discovers Roy has died in the most horrific way. The businessman would become the center of a new storyline as he struggles to deal with the guilt of ordering the hit on the stalwart. Will he confide in anyone about his killer plans, or will he take the secret to his grave as he tries to live an ordinary life? Speaking of working with the actor who plays his son Sam, Jude, soap star Ben, who plays Nick, praised his performance in the death storyline. The actor said, "He's brilliant. I said to him, 'Look, you are keeping me in a job.' He is fantastic, and what is great is that he has his own mind and he knows what he wants to do. I'm only interested in approaching working with him as an actor and equal. When we go to do the scenes we don't over-talk it. He is very natural and instinctive. It is amazing to get a son in the show for Nick because that cements the start of Nick's own family, and it is amazing that Jude is as good as he is, and he is only going to get better. And actually helps me get better as I can watch him. We both have a very similar way of approaching it. He is quite low-key and real, and hopefully, that comes across in the scenes that the relationship feels real.